Absalom, oh Absalom, you made some big mistakes. You paid them with your life. You should have gotten a haircut and maybe not tried to kill your dad.
My name is Pastor Darrell Toole. I'm coming to you live from Big Lake, Minnesota, and today we're doing another shop talk. Remember, when we're doing these Bible stories, God is always the hero. And so everybody in the Bible, they actually share good things about him and bad things about him. And my friend here, it turns out, picked out somebody who did some pretty rough stuff, didn't he?
Yeah.
So please introduce yourself.
My name is Maddie.
And your character is?
Absalom.
Absalom. Okay, in one sentence, tell me what this is all about.
Absalom's story is all about pride and greed. He tried to take what was his, or take what was not his, and overthrow the plan of God, but his life ended with a violent downfall.
Sounds like a tragedy. Really does.
Yep.
Really does. So what did you use for sources?
I used Wikipedia and my Collaborate Bible and a website called Learn Religions.
Good job. I'm a huge fan of the internet. When I was your age, all we had was books.
Really?
Yeah. There was no internet.
Interesting.
In fact, there were very few computers. I'm old. I'm old. Okay, what years? What are we talking about here?
He was born in 1120 BC and he died in 1085 BC.
Okay. Thank you. What books of the Bible can you find his story in?
First Chronicles and Second Samuel.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's sort of written in two different places, and it's sort of weird because the stories are a little bit different parts of them.
Yeah.
But when you put them together, you realize this is a weird story.
Yeah.
It's a weird story. Okay, so what was going on in the world of Absalom?
Israel was more powerful than it has ever been, and David was getting ready to build a temple because he wasn't allowed to build it.
So he's King David's son.
Yes.
Okay, so he was like a rich boy. Okay, keep going. And so give me the story. Give me the story as this stuff plays out in your own words.
Absalom was born in Hebron by King David and is it Maha?
Maha, yep.
Okay. His only sister got raped by their stepbrother, and Absalom thought David would do something about it, but he didn't. So 2 years later, Absalom murdered his stepbrother. Absalom tried to overtake his father's throne, which led him to a violent death.
That's pretty rough.
Yes.
So, but he runs off, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He runs off. So he kills his brother, who's actually in line for the throne, and he runs off.
He ran away for 2 years.
But he came back.
Yeah.
And then what happened? He sort of started working with the other tribal leaders a little bit, trying to gain power, didn't he?
Didn't he raise his own army?
Yes, he did. Through his tribal connections, he raised his own army against his own dad. David actually had to flee for his life. Pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he came within that close of actually getting the throne from King David. Just a crazy story, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, so he has a bigger army than King David's army.
Yes.
But there is a final battle. Can you tell me about that?
The Battle of Ephraim Wood.
Ooh! I love a battle with a name. That's a cool thing.
So basically, when everyone thought David was going to die, Absalom raised his own army, and then Absalom took over Jerusalem. But then David's general said that they were going to fight, so King David told them to kill everyone but capture Absalom because that's his son after all, and he bears responsibility for this. So, Absalom and his army got absolutely routed. And
we could use the term smote. The army was smote.
Smote?
Yeah, like smited. Like just decimated. It's a good word. The army was smote.
Smote.
That's cool, isn't it? Okay, anyway, so the army is smote. But Absalom's still alive.
Yes.
But then what happens?
He tried to sneak through some woods to get to the other side. That's where things went bad.
What happened?
His hair ended up getting stuck in a tree branch, and then David's side found out about that, so the general went over there and shot him 3 times with darts and killed him. And then they burned his body.
Whoa. By
Yeah.
the way, in Jewish culture, you burn a body, you are desecrating it. You are saying really bad things. That's horrible.
Yeah.
You only do that to the worst of your enemies. But if you're trying to kill your dad and take his throne, I would suggest that you might just be an enemy. How did David take it that his general killed his son?
David was really angry. He fired his general.
He fired the general. Weird story, isn't it?
Yeah. But then eventually, Absalom's remains were brought to the family.
Okay, so not really a happy ending, but it sort of brings
Just an all-around horrible story.
you picked a good one, young lady. Okay, do you have a Bible verse for me?
Yes, I do. 2 Samuel chapter 18, verse 33. O my Absalom, my son, Absalom, would I had died instead of you, O Absalom, my son, my son.
That's David talking about
Yes.
the death of his son. Now, I guess there's a whole bunch of messages you can get out of this. And honestly, you can almost justify Absalom killing his brother who raped his sister because his dad wasn't going to do crap. Remember now, women were not just secondary citizens. They were property. And she had lost honor. And his dad wasn't going to do anything about it. So you can sort of kind of justify that.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can justify the coup. You know? And sometimes you make a bad decision, and then you make another bad decision based on that first bad decision, and you make another bad decision. And this guy, if you read the stuff in Chronicles, he was tall and beautiful and destined for greatness, but he just made some really bad choices.
Yeah.
And so the bottom line is, make good choices.
Yep.
And good story. So thank you very much.
Oh, Absalom, you made some big mistakes. You paid them with your life. You should have